Welcome to Clone Questions Live, episode 23, with me, Paul, your clone coach. We are live every Friday on Instagram, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. So if you're catching this on YouTube on the replay, tune in. If you want to join in on the chat, ask your questions live in the chat, or even possibly join the chat. Request to join in with the video. Go to my Instagram and follow me there every Friday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to everybody that's joining here in the chat on Instagram. We're on episode 23, y'all. Episode 23. See my mama there. Hi, mama. Man, that triggers a story. Growing up as the cannabis advocate in the family, things were tough, man. Propaganda was thick. The outcast kind of vibe was thick, but staying true to the plant. And now I see my own mother joining my live and watching me, be a clone coach. And the conversation around the dinner tables changed drastically over the years. But it kind of just takes me back, man. It's like, as a kid, 15-year-old Paul would never dream of doing what I'm doing now, and as openly as I'm doing here on the internet, putting my face out there. So, it's funny to see, man. But welcome to everybody joining. Let us know where you're joining in from. Let me get a little pinned up comment on here. Let's see. Pick a number. Every Friday, every Clone Questions Live, we do a pick a number between 1 and 420 to win a free quick guide, a free 14-day quick guide. Let's know where you're from. Let me type that in. Where are you joining from? And post that there. Pin that. Let's see here. Let me scroll back up. Kayan Island Grown says, "What's up? What's going on?" Gary Jarcia says, "Hello, good sir." Valley Plug says, "Any tips for taking cut?" We'll get into the questions right now. But as just a little reminder for all those that aren't on the team, go to clonecoach.com if you want to start making the best clones ever. There's a sale going on right now in the month of June. We got about 2 weeks left on this sale, which is 50% off the entire website, clonecoach.com. Also on clonecoach.com, if you don't know, I have a new tab set up labeled propagation supplies. So if you're wondering what a Clone Coach's recommended products are, that's where you're going to be able to go. You could go now and start shopping for propagation supplies that I partnered up with an affiliate setup with Growers House. They're an online hydroponic retailer, and they have amazing shipping costs. Cheapest that I've found, and I've browsed a few different options and try to, figure this out, and they got the cheapest shipping that I could find out there. Really good shipping. So go to clonecoach.com, explore around a little bit, check out the propagation supplies tab available there. And also, if you guys didn't know, I dropped a new video on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check this out next. If you're on Instagram here, there's a new YouTube video that I posted up with the on-site coaching tour with Oak Fruitland. So go check it out. It's I think it's pretty cool. It's only like 11 minutes long, so won't take up too much of your time. Let's take a look here. I wanted to touch on in this episode the mold. I've been getting a lot of comments, a lot of messages about the mold that grows on top of the on top of the rooting plugs. Most likely, more often than not, the cocoa peat based rooting plugs. That white mold, that white fuzz that forms on top, usually a few days into the rooting process. I'm gonna touch on that, and on the rooting media again. I've had some. Actually, Jacques, you kind of inspired this next portion, Jacques, of touching base on cloning media, which is the concern of pests or insects or larvae coming in on your rooting media. So we're going to touch on that as well. on how to pre-treat your media, what to do with, so that you have all the good defenses up to protect you moving forward. What's up, Jacques? You on the flight to LA? Safe travels, bud. Safe travels. We got Bath, New York. We got San Diego, Cali. Let's see here. What's going on, Clone Wolf? What's going on? Doesn't have to be clone related, but if you guys have any questions, I mean, we could talk bugs, we could talk plugs, we could talk nursery business. I mean, anything that you guys got going on you want to chat about. And if you want to join the live, request to join right there. That button right there. Click that. You'll join the live only on Instagram. And we could chat in person, chat a little bit more, see what's going on. Let's move it on down here. We got our guesses in there. We got Brazil in the house. Hey, RT Grower, Brazil. If you didn't know, on clonecoach.com, there's 15 different languages for the SOPs. So there's Portuguese in there as well. So if you want to get the nursery guides in your own language, go to clonecoach.com, check it out. There's 15 different languages. And as a matter of fact, here's a good reminder. If you're shopping on clonecoach.com, be sure to pick the language that you want. There's a drop down right there, and I have it in bold letters. There's 15 different languages now, so you have to pick which language you want to get on the when you're placing your order. So I've had a few people not pay attention to that and order the wrong language, the default language. So here's a reminder: just ensure to pick the language that you intend to on that drop down on clonecoach.com. Joker Clone Killer says, "Does anyone else measure cut?" What do you mean by that? Measure your cuts, like the length of the cuts? Is that what you mean? Well, here you go. You elaborate a bit more. Joker Clone Killer says, "Does anyone else measure cuts with their hand and cut over a waste bucket?" That's my preference currently. So is this what you're talking about? I got any scissors here? Any scissors? I don't. But yeah, you would. You're saying like grab the clone. I usually grab the clone, pull it through downward so the leaves are sticking up. Most people cut across the top. And if you're just making it the size of your hand, like, are you making it like this big of a clone? Because usually I'll go like 6 to 7 inch clone, so that I could plug in about an inch into the dome, and it'd still be about a 5 to 6 inch clone up top. That's what I usually do. But the method you're talking about, it happens every day in the industry. I would say it's pretty normal. We got Oklahoma in the house, Mr. C. Growen. Thanks for joining last time. Hope you are starting to put that free quick guide to use. And thank you for joining last time. Let's see here. OG Fuego says, "What do you use for bugs?" Elaborate on that. It's a deep subject, right? IPM. We're talking just chemicals like sprays, liquids, things that you foliar spray. Are you talking about predatory bugs? Are you talking about bioinsecticides? Are you talking about funguses? Basically, it's a collection of everything. It kind of depends on what you're dealing with, really. Berlin in the house. Hell yeah, Berlin. We got the UK. Jacqueline says the Chinese version is very accurate. I appreciate that. So there's even a Chinese version, y'all, of the best clones ever and the best mother plants ever and the 14-day quick guide on clonecoach.com. So go check it out. 15 different languages, including Portuguese, Chinese, Polish, German, Italian, French, 3 different versions of Spanish. Go check it out. Clone Wolf says, "What kind of bugs you dealing with?" Elaborate that. Let's see. Valley Plug, what was your question there, Valley Plug? And don't get upset. Valley Plug says, so you're just not going to answer my question? Look, man, I don't know about you, but when I go to other people's lives, a lot of stuff gets skipped. And I really do my best to answer every single comment that's entered here. So it doesn't happen often if I skip something or miss something or get distracted and a tangent and I don't answer your question directly. But Repeat that question for me, Valley Plug. See here, I'm catching up on the chat too, so I'm scrolling down once again, reading everything. So I'm a little bit behind. Always gonna be a little bit behind on the chat, trying to catch up here. But Clone Wolf VA says, so you never close your vents when cloning? Nope. Never close my vents. Nope. I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt, man. It's like these little, hard lines in the sand, as I call it. I had that analogy, the other night when I got some takeout and there's some French fries and they were, closed up all the way on the drive back, and they're not the same. They're not crispy fries as they were, when you just don't trap all that hot moisture in there. Same. It's a little analogy, but I definitely don't close my vents ever on my domes. Clone Wolf VA says, should I even be using the lid? And for how long do you keep the lid on if you use it? Simple answer, Clone Wolf. I do use it. It's absolutely very, very helpful. And if you want the entire protocol, what to do, when to open them, every single step of the dome protocol, just check out the quick guide, the 14-day quick guide. It's a little summary of the full version of the Best Clones Ever guide. It'll tell you, it'll cover the gap there that you're asking. Check it out on clonecoach.com. Ooh, Gold Coast Exotics says, which light meter do you like best? I haven't found one that I'm like, oh, this is the one. This is the best. This is the brand I'm never going to forget. I haven't gotten to that point, and I haven't tested enough to say like, yeah, this one beats out all the others. Valley Plug says, you read it though. I know, man. It happens, man. I'll start reading something and I'm only human. You are the best. Thank you so much. Gary Garcia says he asked about cloning from outdoor plants. I hope that's right, Valley Plug, which I did read that at the very, very beginning. I think it was the first question. I think it was just, I got a little ahead of myself with answering questions before I listed the things that I have jotted down here that I wanted to open up with. Cloning from outdoor plants, the cloning, taking cuts from a plant that's outdoors really has no negative. There's really nothing negative about it. There's nothing extra that you would do. Rooting them where you're gonna root them is the bigger factor. But just cloning from a plant that's vegging outdoors, no issue, no concern. Of course, beyond the additional pressures you're probably experiencing from pests being outdoors. So whatever you got on the material coming in, yeah, that pre stick kind of dunk, the washing in the solution, you would just adjust that accordingly to accommodate whatever your plants are dealing with. Somebody said, what am I smoking on? OG Fuego says, what am I smoking on? That's that motor breath. Motorhead or motor breath? Motorhead or motor breath? One of the two. It's gas, though. It's the gas. I got this jar I've been working on, chipping away at. Alan, much love. Toledo Indoor Garden. If you guys haven't checked out that episode of Toledo Indoor Garden, I believe it's episode 19 of Clone Questions Live. It's on the YouTube. The full length is on the YouTube. But that was a blast, dude. Toledo Indoor Garden was a blast. Everybody check out Toledo Indoor Garden, for all your hydroponic needs out there in the Ohio, Michigan area. They got a bunch of stores out there. And the people that run it and are there every day, fantastic people. Couldn't say better things about them. Let's see here. Grow Michigan says, when plugging clones, do you force the cut down past the pre-made hole? Good question. The pre-made hole, it doesn't run the entire length of the cube. It's really just like the top quarter or so. That's like the pre-made hole, like depth. What I do is about 50% more. So I hit that spot, right, where it's kind of stops you, and I just push the stem in just enough, about another half inch or so. so that it stays rigid standing up. So, but I don't keep pushing down past that to a significant level, but enough to keep the stem nice and snug. Good question there, Grove, Michigan. Valley Plug says, do you take your cuts from outdoor, or are you only familiar with the indoor? I mean, outdoor, like greenhouse for sure, but like just an outdoor plant. I haven't had any mother plants outdoors that I cloned from in my background. But once again, whatever the mother plant is what your clones are going to experience with the proper procedures and methods. So if your mother plant is outside and just thriving, just beasting, there's no reason. It's a healthy starter, right? All we're doing in the rooting process is it triggering the rooting initiation and triggering the root growth, and we're right back to the vegetative growth. You really shouldn't be skipping a beat. So there shouldn't be a big issue on cloning from outside. It's the rooting. It's the rooting outside. That's the bigger concern, because you have the variance in weather, cold nights, hot days, dry, humid, whatever that is, and you need ideally need a consistent, warm, humid environment that's ripe for rooting. But if you have giant fluctuations, that really hurts your rooting success and quality of clones. Let's see here. OG Frego says, but what meter do you use though? Forget what it's called, man. It's like, it's either yellow and black. It's that like little square one. If I saw it, I'd know it. I don't remember the name, man. But whoever's just joining, whoever's still in here, let us know where you're joining in from in the chat here. If you got a question, if you want to join the live, request to join the live on the video, you'll probably get a little thank you gift from me. Just everybody that has usually ends up with something. Clone Wolf VA says, is trimming the leaves halfway necessary when cloning? Good question. Necessary? No. Simple answer is no. It's not necessary. It's usually done more for spacing and preventing overlapping leaves covering the next clone over, like for space on the tray of clones, and kind of shaping that. But it's not necessary to do so. If you are going to leave the full fan leaves and not cut them in half, though, you would want to remove fan leaves in their entirety, so that's not overcrowded once again. So it may be left with one fan leaf or the next one down as well. But if you're going to not cut them in half, you would want to remove them as a whole. And ideally, little pro tip, leave the nodes behind. Leave the nodes behind. Remove the fan leaves, so when they root and strike and get transplanted, you have more nodes to start with, get better, faster side branching, kind of off to the races. See here, we got Europe in the house, proper mids. Valley Plug says, anything to keep in mind with lighting? Since the vegging is under 15.9, would 24 hours be too much to root? No. I keep my clones on 24 hours without any issues. I mean, what you're trying to do, the theory behind it is maintain a consistent environment of lighting, temperature, humidity, and you adjust the protocols with the dome to accommodate and eventually harden off to the environment that dome is in, which is, a vegetative environment, harden them off to that kind of area. But, in the 2-week process, there's not going to be an effect of keeping the domes and clones on 24 hours a day while rooting. Once again, thanks to everybody for joining this episode 23 of Clone Questions Live. Asking your questions here, participating. I appreciate it tremendously. I want to touch on who out there listening has dealt with mold, that white fuzzy mold on the tops of your cubes, be it whatever brand, but like a cocoa peat based spongy type of media cubes. Who out there has dealt with that fuzz, that mold growth on the tops of your cubes during the reading process, and or had any concern of insect larvae on the incoming material of your cloning media. Who out there in the live, in the chat, and if you're rewatching this, let me know in the comments. Have you ever dealt with this this fuzz, this mold on top of your cubes? And have you ever had any concern with insect pressure coming in on your cloning media? Let me know. Let me know in the chat here. Let me try to catch up. Raging Calmy says, what do you prefer your clone size? About six inches or so. Mrs. Andy May says, do you ever make big ass clones, like 10-inch with a lot of nodes? No, not as a normal habit. Big Dube Genetics says, Memathon going down on my page tonight. Get some. What's going on, Alan? Let's see here. So anybody out there deal with that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Any mold, fuzz, growth on your cloning media? Let's see here. We got Gary Garcia requesting to join tonight's live. Usually has a little delay, but I accepted. Here we go. Make sure my volume's up.
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Excellent, man. Thanks for joining in here.
Yeah, the Gary Garcia is a fake name. I thought it was a very fitting fake name.
Had me fooled.
It's a good fake name.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You say some very good things. Like I took clones for the very first time by myself a couple of days ago.
Nice.
And since then, I've heard you say some very awesome things about like sorting them by size as you go and stuff like that. Like if you have some smaller ones and then you have some bigger ones, they should be in the same tray.
Yep.
And opening the vents and stuff. And I wanted to not brag because I didn't do a lot of that stuff. But for my first time taking clones, one tray is 2 days. The other tray is 5 days.
Uh-huh. Solid green still.
Yep. This one is the 2 days.
Nice.
This one's 5 days.
So are your mamas really short and squatty, or are you just taking smaller cuttings, or what?
They are very short and squatty.
Okay, I figured that's why I asked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got my light a little too intense, but not so intense that it's.
I mean,
too bad.
I didn't even see the plants yet, so that's a decent amount of gap.
These so I took the 2-day ones. I took off of this one, and this one might have been a little young to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, and I took a couple off of this, which is a black Kush.
Really, really tight internode spacing there.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think I've got my light maybe a little too intense, but I don't know.
Well,
I try turning it down periodically, but.
Do you know how intense it is? I mean, is it how many watts and what do you have it at, or any kind of gauge?
That's 650, and I think I'm like 2 or 3 down from the highest.
It's a 650 watt light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense.
The Diablo 650.
That's a bit much. I mean,
yeah.
When it comes to veg and LEDs, I mean the 300 to 400 watt models suffice perfectly.
This one's the HLG 350R.
Okay, nice. Okay.
And that's what I got the clones under right now. I plan on going into a 4x4 with that bigger light, but I just recently got it. So yeah, I think I'm going to turn that down a little bit.
You got some room to turn it down, yeah.
Yeah, the mothers for the 5-day tray, this tray, are outside. and they're to where they're about 2 feet tall now.
Nice, nice. And how much time are you giving it to like veg out undisturbed, no topping, no anything like that for like before you
I
clone
gave
them?
the 5-day ones, the 2 older plants, they were probably vegging for 2 months, maybe almost 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no concern there. I mean, I was thinking more like weeks.
Right. No, yeah. So the 2 that you saw in the tent that I took clones off of in the 2-day tray, I popped the seeds 428.
Nice. Okay. 428. We're coming up on a couple months. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
From popping the seed.
Right.
Yeah, man. But I mean, they're the size of the clone. It'll root in any size. I've rooted little offshoots that we usually would trim off those little nodes.
That was what I started doing on the first tray that I did.
Uh-huh.
Real small, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I figured, right, wrong, or indifferent, I was gonna try it. This one right here was the first one that I did, and I did it on accident because I was going through and looking at my plants, and I broke a branch off. And like you asked if I'd done any topping, so this is my second time growing. The first time I was like just using Miracle-Gro.
You all started somewhere.
So I work at a hydro shop right now.
Oh, nice.
For a friend, and I've gotten curious and decided to try some things. So this is my second time growing, trying to do it right, you know. And so I don't really top anything because I'm not really experienced to be doing that.
Right,
you know?
right.
I know it's pretty easy, but
I wouldn't be scared if I were you, but the fact that you took this leap, you took this jump, you got a little bit more confidence to jump and do so, and throw out a couple trays. You'll see the results in a couple weeks, man. And if you just leave your plants untouched for a couple weeks again, there'll be more vegetative growth to clone from, and you could do it again, and you could do it again. Yeah. And like you said, the accidents or trimming the bottoms of a plant, you could take more practice there. Like you could just keep honing in your craft. So congratulations, man.
I've definitely started to let go of like just trying to be so tight-assed about stuff. Like these, when I first took up both trays the day after, like I'm sure you do this for a living, so I'm sure you've been come back and been like, oh fuck, they're wilted. But I didn't do anything about it. I was like, don't panic. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're fine. You just cut them off of their body.
So how long are you keeping those domes off though for? Because I mean they've been off the whole time we're talking, right?
I usually don't. I just took them off to
Got
talk
it.
to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I've been paying attention for shit.
Yeah, I mean, even right now, I throw those domes on right now. Don't let me interrupt those babies. Like that's what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, because I've been there. Like, we start chatting in front of the domes, and we're like, oh shit, no, let's not get distracted here.
Yeah, no, I just put them back on, but I won't stay in long because I'm sure you have things you want to get back to. I appreciate you putting me on.
I appreciate you, man. Dude, please do me a favor. Shoot me a DM.
Okay.
Let me know, and I'm going to get you a free copy of the 14-day quick guide. The dome protocols, what to do, what to feed, the quick version of those 14 days to get you some success, man. So shoot me a DM, and I get you a discount code for that.
Before I leave, so you don't close your vents. So like this 2-day tray, I've got the vents closed to kind of give it some humidity. So in my mind, so that the leaves can absorb some moisture, you're saying open those right up, even though they're new.
So you got a couple anomalies there that I have as assumptions when I'm referring to a tray. When I'm referring to a tray, my tray canopy is solid. You can't really see down to the cubes or to the empty holes of the plugs. That canopy is solid. That has enough foliage to give off enough transpiration to maintain a good amount of moisture in your dome. So that is the assumption, and that's why even more so you don't want to start with trapping that in there on all of that foliage. If you have plants that are a third of the size and you're 2/3 filled into the tray and you have a lot of empty space and not a lot of foliage to give off that transpiration, I would still wouldn't close the vents, but what I would do is supplement that humidity in the dome. So your mister, your sprayer every day, when you burp your domes, you would wipe and add in your own mist on your domes and possibly your clones themselves. Some Xylitol, something light, just something that keeps it clean as you're doing it as well. You're not just throwing water, just throw water, and now you have that balance there. But you still don't trap whatever wants to come out naturally. You don't trap that in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Sweet, bud. Thanks for joining, man. Thank you. Let's see, we got Clone Wolf VA requesting to join in next. Clone Wolf's been participating in the chat pretty heavily here. So we're going to get Clone Wolf in.
What's good?
Hey, welcome to Clone Questions Live. How are you, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good, man.
Thanks for all the questions and joining in the chat, dude.
Yeah, man. Just stumbled across you not too long ago, and you know what's up. I just wanted to ask you about that white fuzz you was talking about, because it's day 2 in my dome, and I already got it started.
What kind of plugs are you using? The Cocoa Peat, like spongy ones?
Yep.
Yeah, and the brands are not irrelevant, but sort of irrelevant because it's the same type of media. Right. But it starts from the peat that's in that media. So it's just a mycelium that is naturally occurring with the humidity and the peat that's in that media that triggers. Couple things though. It's not harmful or attacking your plant in any way. It doesn't lead to root rot, to stem rot. It's not going to give you PM. It doesn't attack the material. What it's actually doing, it's almost defending against bad pathogens from taking hold, because there's already an established fungi there that is defending it. So there's actually a slight beneficial aspect to it. Visually, worst thing to look at in your trays.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and if you were to do something about it, you're not going backwards in any way. So you I would do Xylitol 2.0. That's an easy remedy because I'm already doing that on my foliage every day anyways. So that overspray and that over mist on the tops is suppressing anything that's there visually and preventing against all the other things that Xylitol prevents. So you're kind of getting 2 birds with 1 stone. Within the actual cube, I'm not concerned. I'm not trying to get my Xylitol soaked into there. I want all the good bennies alive and thriving there. But visually on top, suppress it with that daily Xylitol spray. But it's not harmful.
Okay. So like right here, for example, where it was on a fan leaf, is that bad? Should I cut more off of where that fan leaf come off of? Because it's going right at the top. It's not at the root view.
So a couple things. I'd probably want to look at the tools and what's going on there. And like that leaf should have been cut more at the base, right? Versus leaving that length of material to be able to die off from an open wound. And lastly, if you're not already doing a Xylitol spray, you're not preventing anything or suppressing anything. So it just takes hold. With that amount of material, organic material to die out and be eaten up and not have anything prevented, it's kind of that little recipe. Because you're only a couple inches away from the bottom fuzz, the bottom mold. So you combine all those factors, and that's like the picture we're looking at.
All right. Well, one last question, if you don't mind.
That's what I'm here for, man.
How often should I be misting these guys? Because I feel like in the past, like you said with the French fries, my shit just kept getting soggy.
Yeah.
It just wasn't rooting.
So it's with a couple of assumptions. I spray Xylitol daily on my foliage. So you could spray often, but what most people would do previously is they wouldn't spray with that purpose. They would just spray RO water or tap water or try to do a nutrient like a foliar spray, something with other activity in it, something like that. They weren't weren't really often spraying with the purpose like Xylitol to where it kills everything as it's there, and once it's dry, it's done killing. That's the only thing I spray on my trays during the rooting process, and with that, I'm suppressing while I'm spraying.
So let's say I don't have the Xylitol or whatnot. I mean, I use well water, and the pH of it is 7.72, depending.
Okay.
Should I be adding anything? Is that acceptable?
You know, if you can't get that chemistry, like the hobby level chemistry would be like a hydrogen peroxide, and the concentration could vary, you know. So that would be like the step down towards hobby level if you can't get it. Most hydro stores carry it. You could fairly readily available.
Well, I'm bumfuck, so I definitely would have to order it online.
You're what? I'm sorry.
I said I'm in bumfuck Egypt, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Okay, well, you know, then basic chemistry wise, if you're out there with like a handful of ingredients, it would be hydrogen peroxide and vinegar as a basic chemistry.
3% hydrogen peroxide from like CVS, or should I get like the higher grade?
See, that's where you go deeper into it and try to get that right ratio. I don't have all those numbers for you right now, but that's the broad strokes. What you could kind of do in the meantime, and if your stuff's getting all soggy like the fries, we got to make sure.
I'm trying to tell you.
There you go. Okay, there you go. You know, as long as your room is not too cold and too damp, you shouldn't have that problem with misting. As long as your room is a little bit warmer and has not too much humidity, then we should be money. Fresh air exchange in the room, just like we do treat the domes, and we shouldn't have any soggy fries.
Well, the room stays at 42% humidity, 86 degrees.
No reason why you should be molding up. Yeah, beyond like the prevention and suppression chemistry wise. I would want to do some experiments with you, like super mild bleach, like a really like a way to, you know, if you were talking basic chemistry and suppressing anything, I would see how low of a bleach ppm you could go. Hydrogen peroxide as an oxidizer, that's helpful. Trying to find that home version of hydrogen peroxide and vinegar for that stronger action should get you in the right direction, man.
All right, brother. Hey, man, I really appreciate it.
Hey, but same with you, man. Shoot me a DM. Let me get you a free copy of that 14-day quick guide.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
That was Clone Wolf VA. Woo, I am way behind in the chat, but that was awesome. I'm thinking of moving over to YouTube to do the live recording and try to get this Riverside FM thing figured out for you guys to call in live. You know, because this call-in thing is pretty cool, I think. What do you guys think? And I hope you guys caught that the questions being answered as far as the mold goes on the clone plugs. That happened in a little chat here when Clone Wolf VA joined the episode, joined the chat. We touched on that. Basically, you want to suppress with Xylitol 2.0. It's not harmful. It's actually a better defense against incoming bad pathogens, and it stems from the peat portion of the media in combination with the moisture. So if you're dealing with that, it's pretty easy to suppress, to maintain. Let's see here. Let me catch up on the chat, everybody. Thank you for your patience. If you got something in the chat, I'm making my way down. You know, we had 2 back-to-back requests to join the live, which was super cool. Get some more team members out there. They're going to get a little free thank you as well. Tune in to the end of this episode where we're going to do the giveaway as well of another copy of that free, the 14-day quick guide. Let me catch up on the chat here. Smoking with Gas says, how to keep clones green after rooting. You keep them clean. You keep them green before they turn any other color. All right. If your clones are starting green on your mother plants and they're turning purple or yellow during your rooting process, and you're having to play this game of catch up to get them back to where they are thriving in veg, it's exactly the problem I solved with my SOPs and my guides, my nursery guides, my propagation guides on clonecoach.com. It's exactly the problem I solved. We start green and we stay green, and all we're doing is adding some healthy ass fresh white roots on the bottom of that clone, and you're right back to veg, never skipping a beat. So smoking with gas, I recommend you go to clonecoach.com. Just do it. What's everybody talking about with that just do it? Terp 30. Catching up on the chat here, everybody. Catching up on the chat. Empathy Cannabis says, what ratio with the zero tall? I'm going to make another shirt of this shit too, guys. Listen up. High strength is 1 ounce per gallon as a round number. Exact number is 37.5 mils per gallon. That is good for foliage, for full stem dunking, and for hard surfaces. Half strength, 15 mils per gallon. That's good for root drenches and light duty use on the foliage. 1 mil per gallon is a continuous use dosage for irrigation lines to maintain and to prevent biofilm buildup in your irrigation lines. Get it? 1 mil per gallon, 15 mils per gallon, or 30 mils per gallon. There you go. Mr. C. Groen says, what else can I use besides zero tall? Sounds like that's a note to take and find any other possible solutions. But, you know, guys, when we're talking about commercial chemistry, the only other solution is more commercial chemistry if you want apples to apples, you know. Johnny Moon NYC says, what you smoking on, Gromy? It's Motorhead. Motor Breath, one of the two. Gas. Let's see here. Let me catch up. Clone Wolf says, should I remove any yellowing leaves from my dome? Yeah. Get rid of the possible food for the additional pathogens to take hold. So trim them up, get rid of the dead stuff, leave the nodes behind, keep them happy. You should grow out of that no problem. So on the plugs, the second half of the questions from the beginning, which if you're concerned about your clone plugs coming in with any sort of pests, there's a couple options you could do. Well, this is really going to hit on the inoculation of those cubes. When we inoculate the cubes, we're doing more so for the rhizosphere of the root zone and a biofungicide to prevent against any pathogens, but we're not covering too much of the insecticide, the bioinsecticide, mycoinsecticide portion of that pre-soak. So if your concern is more larvae and pests, things like aphids, like that in your root zone, fungus gnats, you could preload your rooting media with some nematodes and add in another predatory mite, which I think it might be it's not the Swirsky. I'm gonna put that in the editing video. I'm gonna put them here. If you want to know the full ones, go to the full video there. But you could basically inoculate and add nematodes and beneficial insects in that inoculation stage of your rooting media. So you're putting the good defenses up against any pathogens or against any insects. I'm sorry, any potential larva, fungus gnat larva, or anything like that coming in. So that's something you could do. There's also bioinsecticides and mycoinsecticides, things like no fly, Natural. These are all going to be, if you guys want to know what IPM products I'm mentioning and recommending here, you go to clonecoach.com, propagation supplies, and under the IPM section, you'll see some products there. And really soon, you'll see a summarized version of all of the recommended products listed as a nice summary. So that'll be there shortly. But You could inoculate your cubes with something like a natural or no fly to prevent against any sort of fungus gnat larva throughout the entire rooting cycle with that initial inoculation. Let's see here. El Ranchero Hippie says, just joined the club, listening to your videos today. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. Up your clone game. Gonna get you the best clones ever, man. El Ranchero Hippie, welcome to the team. If you guys are hesitant about joining the team, it's 50% off right now. CloneCoach.com going on to the end of this month. Limited time only. But join the hundreds of others that are getting success all over the world. And granted, I'm still critical about what I'm putting out here, so we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We're not done learning. We're not done growing. We're not done getting better with this whole cloning thing. I know this covers so much for so many people, and we're creating a new standard. And once we create that new standard, now we're going to have a new goal to reach from there, right? And that's the journey, always improving on the journey. So welcome to the team. Glad to have you. And if everybody else out there that's hesitant about joining the team, don't be. Go to clonecoach.com. Join the team today. See here, Clone Wolf says, hate to keep asking questions. Don't hate, man. I love the participation. I'm glad to have you. So keep on coming. But Clone Wolf VA says, but do you soak your cubes in anything specific for your pre-soak? I do, which is what I just kind of touched on prior to this question, which is root inoculant. In addition to the NPK base, it's root inoculant, something like a biofungicide, and something like a bioinsecticide. That's what I'm pre-soaking my media with to begin. Protecting my roots for enhanced nutrient uptake and root growth, protecting against pathogens and larvae and insects. That combined with the NPK base is, for me, the ultimate recipe for your cloning media. You have the strongest, healthiest plants just ready to go. Cyclone Cannabis Co. Welcome. Cyclone Cannabis Co. says, sup, dude? Maine in the house. Nice. Welcome, Maine. Got that good shit to go around. Hope all is well, bro. All is well. We're on episode 23 of Clone Questions Live, and we're getting to the end here. So if you haven't entered your guess, a number between 1 and 420 for your chance to win right now live, for your chance to win a free copy of the 14-day quick guide from clonecoach.com. Enter your guesses now in the chat. Enter the guesses because we'll have a cutoff time, and there won't be any more. Cutoff means cutoff, man. So enter your guesses in the chat right now. Number between 1 and 420. Whoever gets closest without going over via a number picked on a random number generator, you'll win tonight. I'll get your discount code and you'll join the team. So get your guesses in right now. Number between 1 and 420. I'm going to go from the newest chat to the oldest to find our winner or winners. Whoever gets closest without going over the random number. And if you didn't win today, join in next week because we do this every single episode of Clone Questions Live. Every single week, we have a winner. So this is right now what it is right now. This is right now what it is right now. For the giveaways, that's what we have right now. And in the future, maybe giving away other items, maybe some physical products, maybe some hydroponic supplies, whatever's good, whatever's gravy. We got Niagara Falls, Canada in the house. Let me scroll up here. I think I may have missed something. Nope. Let me scroll down here. Terp House, Spain. We have on clonecoach.com, Terp House, I have two versions for Spain of the languages. I have Catalan and I have a Spanish for Spain. Two options out there. So please spread the word. Anybody out there in Spain trying to make clones on a consistent basis, production level clones, and make them the best ever? I know a lot of people out there are doing so. Help spread the word if you could, Terp House. I'd appreciate it. Let them know they have options. They got help. They got a coach on their side who's here to help them make the best clones ever. So check it out on clonecoach.com. I got 15 different languages of the SOPs on there. It's pretty damn cool. And I got the video portion coming soon too. Trying to find the right software to get this done. That's like the content side of the behind the scenes of Clone Coach is software, editing, how much that's going to run, the investment into get all these videos translated and the documents translated, all that good stuff. But I found an AI that could do like 6 languages with the full length videos. So I tried one episode, but I guess the audio wasn't clear enough, so it didn't catch it, it didn't read it. So I got to try some more videos to get more languages of Clone Coach content out there. Thank you, Terp House. KB Lawfriend says, how do you feel about Dan and a gorilla clone tent? Oh, fan. It's like, what? How do you feel about a fan in a gorilla clone tent? You need airflow for your plants. Always need a little bit of, you need the plants to be dancing. Your mother plants or your vegetative plants, they got to be dancing a little bit. They got to be moving a little bit. That helps them get stronger. On your domes, if the domes are in the same tent, then indirect airflow is what we want for the domes. We don't want the airflow to be causing the domes to dry out on a portion or the entire thing. So with the fan, indirect for the clone domes, direct airflow for the plants. As long as it's not too much and everything's just moving around a little bit, that's as much airflow as you need. Essentially, having no stagnant air is the goal. Thank you, KB. Everybody get their guesses. Everybody get their guesses in. We're going to close this off here. Get your guess number between 1 and 420. Leave it in the chat. We're going to pick a winner here in the next couple minutes. Pick a winner here. We're getting down to the end of the episode, as you can tell. The end of the episode. I want to just thank everybody that's been joining, that's been, watching the episodes, participating in the episodes. Let me know what kind of content you guys want to, pivot to. I want to keep evolving, getting better, get the setup better, invest in some more cameras and some more angles and, put a lot more effort towards it. So any feedback that you guys got, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Send me an email. Shoot me a DM. All right, guys. 6:24. At 6:25, we are going to shut off the guesses. Answer your guess right now, y'all. You got less than a minute. Less than a minute. We're going to get this random number generator pulled up. Okay. Mr. C. Groen says, I fucking had my fan pointed at the domes this week when I took clones. No, man. Indirect. Empathy Cannabis says, you're killing it, man. Thank you, Empathy Cannabis. Pretty sure you just joined the team, right? Welcome to the team. Mr. C says, I moved it 2 days ago. Thanks. You're welcome. All right, y'all. Root Ball Randy says, hypochlorous acid pool shock. Some people use, some people do. 100%. You're trying to play chemist and you want to, get something that's intended for a pool to use on your plants because it's the same basic chemistry, by all means, do you, man. It's up to you. It's your call. You know what you're doing. Fat Mahardo says, what do you think about minute pirate bugs to help with thrips? Hey, Fat. Do me a favor. Shoot me a DM. Got those questions about those bugs? Shoot me a DM. I'll get you some solutions. All right, we'll figure this out. Shoot me a DM about the bugs, and I'll get you some. Anybody out there as well. If you have any questions about predatory insects, predatory bugs, just shoot me a DM, and we get started. We'll start the conversation that way. See what we could help figure out for you. All right. All right. So let's see here. It's time to pick a winner. Did I pronounce that right too? Font with the double T. Let me know, man. I'm gonna get my languages up. I don't mind being wrong and getting corrected. I know how to move forward. Grand H Sack says, "What kills springtails in cocoa?" You got some bug questions? Shoot me a DM. You got bug questions? Shoot me a DM. Get it solved for you. All right, we'll get it solved for you. You have any bug questions? Anybody out there listening? Shoot me a DM. We'll get you some solutions. All right. NJ Marco is the last guess, is the last entry. All right. NJ Marco is the last entry. That's it. Plantsman Group joined the house right now. Literally, as I was finishing saying, if you have any bug questions, shoot me a DM. If you have any bug questions, y'all, shoot me a DM. Fad says, just did my veg reset at work to get rid of the thrips. Use Sanidate for cleaning. Sanidate for hard surfaces is great, but you got that thrip problem, shoot me a DM, and we'll get that figured out for you, man. And actually, shout out to Plantsman Group. That's the back end of the solution of the bug problems here. So if you got bug problems, we just had a little conversation today, and here it is in the works and happening right now. So you guys got any bug problems? Shoot me a DM. We'll get you some solutions. We'll get you all figured out. All right, let's find our winner. Random number between 1 and 420. I'm going to hit generate. I'm going to pick our winner. Entries are cut off already. NJ Marco was the last entry with his guess of 29. We ready? I'm going to get a like here if anybody's ready. Whoever's listening, let me get a like. Sorry, Little Tree Meds. We're cut off. This is the end of the episode, y'all. We got the cutoff time. Better luck next week, though. Every Friday, 5:30 p.m. Enter your guesses to win every week. We do this shit every single week. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Generate. 237. 237 is a random number. Let's go find me a couple winners, huh? 237 is a random number. 237, 111, 238 just went over. Can't go over. Closest without going over. 244 just went over. 237 is a random number. We got 214. That's kind of close. I kind of keep track as I go along. Random numbers 237, 323, 369, 312, 142, 360, 222. That's closer. Grand HSEC. I got to get a software to help me do this, y'all. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat. What kind of software would you guys want to do for this giveaway every week? Me scrolling through the chat, it's getting old. We got to evolve here. Random numbers 237. Closest so far is 222. Scrolling up to the chat, you got to get your entries in that throughout the entire episode. We start this every Friday, 5:30 p.m. We got a 224. That's closer by a little bit. 224. 237 is a random number. 18. Nope. A little bit off. 385. 240. 241. 337 is a random number. 32. 222. We have another 222. If that wins, that'll be 2 winners. 32. Nope. Let's see here. 237 is the random number this week. 118, 310. We had someone guess 238. Just went over. 122. 401. Nope. 22, 311, 222. That's another 222. That'd be really cool if that was a winning number, y'all. Is anybody going to take out 3 people of winning right now? The random number is 237. We got 3 people at 222 with the highest guesses so far. Closest without going over, 72, 91. It's either going to be 3 winners or 1 winner. Here we go. 227. Oh, shit. 227 takes out 3 people. Oh, man. Taking out 3 people. 227. Random number is 237. Who could beat that? Scrolling up to the chat. Get your entries in early. 212, 111, 336, 399, 365, 38, 7, 223, 9, 22. Let's see here. We're getting close to the top. Oh my God, that was the winner. 227 is the closest to 237. Congratulations, Andrew Puffin. Let me write that down. Andrew Puffin with the guess of 227 takes this week's winner. That was a random number of 237. We had 3 people at 222, and here comes Andrew. Guess it's just a little bit higher and takes them all out. Congratulations, Andrew. Congratulations. Let's see here. And if all those that didn't win this time, join in next week, 5:30 p.m. We cut off the guesses like 5 minutes before the hour. So there's a cutoff time. Get in here early, get your guess in there. Even if you don't stay for the entire time, come in early, get your guesses in. Number between 1 and 420 for your chance to win a free copy of the 14-day quick guide from clonecoach.com. That'll get you through. It's a nice summary of the best clones ever guide from clonecoach.com. It has the 15-page PDF, a training video, and a coaching call with me. The quick guide is just a summarized single-page version of the 14 days process. So congratulations to Andrew Puffin for winning this week, episode 23 of Clone Questions Live. That was Jess Gross says, I came in way late, my fault. Look, not a big deal. Now you know. Every single week, tell your friends, 5:30 p.m. Get your guesses in. Have your chance to win and join the team. Let's see here. Thanks for everybody that joined. We caught the end of the show here. Join us next week, 5:30 p.m. here on Instagram. Reruns are all on YouTube. Full-length reruns are all on YouTube for everybody that missed this episode. You catch all the episodes on YouTube. Just search Clone Coach. You'll find my channel, and you'll have every single episode of Clone Questions Live. Full, uncut, unedited, raw length version of exactly what happened. So just from this camera angle, not from this camera angle. So join next week, and have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.